Welcome to Tuesday Sprints. I see that Abs is here and Alex, Anna too. Hello, Sylvia. Welcome. I'm so glad that we can be company for you while you're at work. I have switched things up, as some of you may notice. I started an hour earlier than usual, mainly because we've got T-Rex Tuesday at 6 p.m. my time. I also just felt like it would be better for my own schedule. So yeah, we decided to shift things a little bit. Hello, Kelsey. Oh my gosh, you're probably on lunch. Hello. I hope that you decided to go outside as you planned to eat your lunch. Hello to Neil. Also, welcome to Larissa. We've got Jewel. Ooh, The Rose Bargain. That one I know is a recent release. It's been on the New York Times bestseller list. I hope you're enjoying it. Hi, Ren. How are you? Also, Morgane is here. Happy Tuesday, Sarah. You're working on Shield of Sparrows. How is it going? Is it everything that you were hoping for? I hope that you're enjoying it. Also, I hope work picks up. I'm sorry that it's going so slowly. Good morning, Robin. Hope your morning is starting off well. Supposed to be off this afternoon, but have to go to work, pick up a computer mouse. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating because you're like, it's a small thing, this one thing, and I could just be home. Hello, Brie. Oh my gosh. This is a great reminder. People, we have less than a week until the amazing readathon. Whether you want a competitive readathon or you want to be on the sidelines and be the Pathfinders, check it out. There's still time. There's always still time to join. But anyways, let me get to your comment. Listening to The Wind Weaver, also a very popular title right now. A lot of people are talking about it. It's the first day back at the office after vacation, dying a slow death. I know, because not only are quite a few of us in the US enjoying or not enjoying, we're kind of suffering after the long weekend, but you also went away on vacation. You went to BookNet Fest. It probably feels like a sad day to return to normal life. Oh my gosh. Hello, KH. How are you? Hello, Denise. On page 187, My Friends by Frederick Bachman, the new book. Oh my gosh, that's right. It's so good so far. Also just opened a puzzle, flipping the pieces and sorting the edges. You are a puzzler after my own heart. Hello, Jill. Finishing up The Golden Couple right now, and then it will be back to see, what I can play Libby Chicken with. The thing is Libby Chicken is so real. All of us who use Libby, we fully understand the stress of it. Hello, Ash. How are you? Not reading a book at the moment. Totally fine. Oh, you just finished First Time Caller. So trying to decide on a next read, especially if you really loved it. Take a second. Enjoy not reading a book, and then you can kind of figure out what you're in the mood for. You're on your lunch. That's what I thought. Maybe I'll even get a chance to listen to my audiobook this afternoon now that I'm done with my meetings. Congrats. I know that it's because speaking of, so not only has Brie come back from holiday, so is Kelsey. Kelsey was off in Japan. Where else did you go? You went to 2 other places. And Japan you'd been to before, but the other 2 were new to you. Maybe Thailand. Was Thailand one of them as well? In Korea, I think. I need to read, but I have things I should get done first. So I'm going to work on those things, maybe read later. We'll see. Yeah, do it as a reward or as a way to relax. Hey, Jamie, hope you're well. Hello, Heather. Going to hopefully read all of Shiver. Ooh, it's due back at the library tomorrow. Okay, so exciting, but also stressful. I'm telling you, it's a sport. Reading is a sport in the way that we try to delay, beat deadlines, especially due dates. Hello, Mrs. Z. Listening to number 6 in the Bridgerton series. Very nice. I hope you're enjoying that historical romance. On 40, okay, only 40 pages in. Actually super interested already. You've got some theories? Okay. Perfect. And that's for Shield of Sparrows for those who aren't keeping up with how fast I'm pretty proud of myself. I feel like I've done a great job of keeping track of comments, but that will probably slow as we go on. Reading Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Enjoying it. Definitely see why people love it so much. I have never heard of this, but now it's on my radar. Oh my gosh, we're over 1,100 people signed up. It's going to be a great month. Truly, it's going to be so fun. I'm already so excited. And everyone coming up with their own TBRs, comparing plans. It's been really great. Finishing up Never Lie by Frida McFadden this morning. Great. Starting your morning with a thriller. Chucking it down here. Oh no, but I'm comfortable under my blanket about halfway into Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. That is on my list. I read Bury Your Gaze last year. Really enjoyed it. And so I've been meaning to kind of go back and read that original, like not first title, but kind of the more well-known title that kind of put Chuck Tingle in the horror map a little bit. Excited for the amazing readathon. Just put in a huge merch order. Yes! Oh my gosh, the merch. First of all, comfort colors. The colors are gorgeous. They seem. I need to order. But part of me is like, Leandra, you've already splurged last year. I ended up buying 2 things for the amazing readathon. So I'm like, I don't need another one, but kind of need another one, don't I? Need to put together your TBR. Hello, Alicia. Just popping in to say hello. Hug the like button. I appreciate it. During your birthday sprints. Oh my gosh. We'll be back when I'm finished. Please enjoy your birthday sprints. Happy birthday. China and South Korea. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I didn't realize that you'd gone to China for some reason. I just had Thailand in my brain. You're reading Fourth Wing. Awesome, Alicia. In the mood for a lot of different genres. It's an issue because it makes it harder to pick. Boy, does it. I agree. Hello, Jojo. Good morning. I hope your Wednesday's going well. You're reading Sense and Sensibility, going with a classic. Maybe getting a little bit an early prep for Jane Austen in July, which I also know is a readathon. I'm trying to finish an anthology of travel writing, reading for, nice for starting the amazing readathon. That's how I am. I'm trying to finish all of my reads, which is why I'm reading Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton, because that's a book I want off of my TBR before June arrives. Oh, I'm glad you're really enjoying it. Love the atmosphere. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Hello, Mashu. How are you? Excited for Tar? Yes. Loved Bury Your Gaze. Camp Damascus is a little darker. See, that's what I'm mentally preparing for, because I think it also has a little bit more discussions about like religion, familial trauma. Not that Bury Your Gaze is like a super light read, but just the vibe. I felt as though Camp Damascus probably is darker. So that's good to know, Anna. Hello, Ro. How are you? Hi, Lexi. Finishing up a meeting right now, but when it's done, I'll be reading The Rivals by Jane Peck. Awesome. Allie Hazelwood has a new book out too. That's right. A lot of people are talking about that. Yes, Problematic Summer Romance. Okay. Oh, that's what it's called. You know what? I should have known that, because I feel like I've seen the cover around as well in anticipation for its release. Hello, how are you, Satine? Let me know if that's wrong. Just came back from work. It's 7 p.m. here. Ooh, and then you're going to be reading Faithbreaker, the 3rd and final book in the Fallen Gods trilogy. Oh my gosh. I hope you enjoy it. I will say that I feel like the entire series, I was chasing the hype of God Killer because I really loved that kind of ragtag group. But Faithbreaker still has so many great themes, so many great lines, and I love those characters to death. I'm glad you're able to enjoy that read right after you're done with work. Hello, Glenda. How are you? Hello, Yelena. You're starting Bat Eater today. Ooh, speaking of like darker horror, that has been on my list. I really want to read it, especially because it seems like it's got so many important themes and discussions surrounding, COVID and the racism and prejudice, discrimination towards Asian people during that time, and still today. Been in the middle of a chunky book for a while, so I was scared I won't be able to finish it soon enough. Oh gosh, I know. That's the fear of the chunky read. Lucky Day sounds so fun by Chuck Tingle. Okay, good to know. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Sprint hopping, reading Famous Last Words, hoping to finish it today so I can start Dungeon Crawler Carl. People have told me it may or may not be a book for me. We'll see. I definitely am going to try it because I'm so interested, but apparently it's not black and white, whether it would be a book for me. Hello, Rainy. I'm not sure if you're still on your own Patreon sprints with Brittany, but if so, I hope you guys are having a good day. Started my 10th battle book. Oh my gosh. Okay, now you're officially ahead of me because I still need to start my 10th and final book for Battle of the Booktuber. Okay, I think I'm going to pick up The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. Ash. That's a cool title, but I've never heard of it. Also got my FL adult book for Mayan today. Ooh, Fairy Loot, FL. I know acronyms. We're good. That's cool. I bet it's gorgeous. You got it right. Okay, great. And I'm really looking forward to finishing the series. I've been really enjoying it. Good, Satine. I'm glad. Because yeah, it's like a shrine on my shelf. I do love that trilogy so much. Hello, Bia. Hope your evening is going well. Still have some freelance stuff to do, so won't be reading tonight. That's okay. We can be with you during productivity. Hello, Lisa. Reading a Star Wars book. Very nice. Also, always like to read a couple during Star Wars month of May. Yeah, for sure. Hello, Tuesday. How are you? Ooh, lunch break. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's calm, a relaxing time. Also, oh my gosh, wait, Tuesday. This is your first day of work at your new job. I hope that it's going well. Feel free to like fill us in, and you can always do it in the private Discord. You don't have to do it publicly. But I hope it's going well. Congratulations again. But I'm still reading the night. Oh, okay, so you're juggling. That makes sense. Listening to City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards, hopefully finishing it today. Oh, good luck, Ariana. We can work together. We can try to finish our books today together. No, no, Ash, nothing to apologize for. I just feel silly because I'm like, it's clearly a very important like acronym where we should know what it is. And so I got it. No worries. Very gorgeous. That makes sense. It should. I'm at 90% of Boomtown by Nick Stone and a NetGalley arc that I've been reading the last few days. Should be able to finish. Look at all of us planning on finishing our books today. It's a dark academia with the principal as the protagonist. That is wild. I don't think I've ever seen a book like that where it follows like a staff member rather than the students, or like a teacher maybe. I didn't realize Bat Eater was on Hoopla. My TBR out the window now. That's sprints for you. Reading sprints always like makes my TBR grow like ever larger. It's crazy. Reading The Hobbit for the first time. Ooh, okay, Jordan. Excited to see what the hype is all about. I've never read The Hobbit either. So if you feel like you're late to the party, you're not the latest because I'm behind you. I do need to read that though. That's actually a good point as well. On that note, though, we've reached the end of the comments. I figure we can start on our first sprint while everyone's getting settled. If more comments come in, I'll keep an eye on them. I'll respond when I can. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining me. This is a great crowd already. I will see everybody in an hour. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. A lot of people joined during that first sprint, and probably those people who are used to me starting at 2 p.m. or starting an hour later than I usually do. I was so productive. I had lunch. I did some tidying, kind of organizing the cardboard for recycling. I ended up getting book mail, one of them being the 5th volume of A Cat from Our World and the Forgotten Witch, the final volume in this manga series, which is great. And then I also ended up getting a special package from Broken Binding, Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I haven't opened it yet, so I will have to do that. But I'm so excited, and I was like, I'll save it. I can unwrap it, though, while we're here on screen if you guys want me to. So yeah, good luck to Emily. I saw that you have such a huge list trying to get ready for summer. I hope you can get all those tasks done without stressing yourself out. Out of my meeting, congratulations, Lexi. Had a good chin wag with my boss. Now I'm eating lunch. I love that expression. We got to bring that back. Chin wag. I really like that. Got some more work done. Hopefully I can finish it and almost finish during the next sprint. Oh yeah, speaking of, I did read. I promise I read. This is my only audiobook at the moment, hence why I'm off screen, getting tasks done. I have, I think, 3 or 4 other physical reads that I'm juggling, and I was like, let's get this audiobook out of the way. I'm 84% of the way through Mickey 7. I have an hour and a half left for listening, and I'm really enjoying it. I will say that Mickey 8, who finds his way into the picture at some point, is an idiot. Like, he is so stupid. And I'm so glad we're following Mickey 7, because I'm like, these are not the same people, even though they are. I don't really know how this is going to end. Like, I actually have no idea how this is all going to wrap up, but I'm excited to see what happens. Denise read 37 pages on 224. Ooh, get some coffee. That's a good idea. I might have my second cup of the day as well. Got my journaling done. Awesome. Started a next task. Made it to 52 of 394. Heather, you're getting your toes wet with this book. Your toes wet, dipping your toes, getting your, what is it? We're not going to get that phrase right. It took me a while to get into it, as haven't read a manga in a while, but feel confident. Oh yeah, I feel like it's like anything of a genre, a format. If you haven't done it for a while, it's almost like getting back on a bike. If you haven't ridden a bike in a while, you got to like feel it out, and then you're flowing. Eating rice, yum. I had rice yesterday with some chicken. I had a little bit of avocado that I threw in as well. It was delicious. You did some tidying. Spent the sprint sneezing. No, Ash, I'm so sorry. That is not a productive sprint, and is not, your choice. You were forced to have unproductive sprints. I hope that the sneezing is done. Made myself a hot chocolate. Ooh, that also sounds lovely. A different type of caffeine. But also just as effective. 30 pages. Also, it's far later for you, Anna, I think. So probably not interested in a coffee right now. Working on some things around the house so I can get back to reading. Oh, nice. Then, what do they say? Messy bed, messy head. Like, if your apartment or home or the room you're in is a little bit untidy, it's hard to focus on other stuff. So that's smart. Hello, Anne. Welcome to the party. The Story of a New Name. Remind me, is that the second book in that series? I have it on my shelf. I was supposed to, it was in my shelf destruct last year, and I couldn't do it. I really want to continue that series. So yeah, I hope you're loving it. Satine is 17% of Faithbreaker. It's a little bit scattered for me for now, but I'm still curious. Oh yeah, because you're jumping around perspectives, and you're probably at the point where the characters have kind of split to 2 different settings. And so, yeah, it is a little bit scattered. I totally understand that. Hello, Jen. Welcome to the fun. Hope you're all well, and that those who had a long weekend enjoyed it. Yeah, me too. I hope everyone feels refreshed, even though we're having a bit of the Mondays on Tuesday for some of us. Workday here, and my first 2 meetings are done. Congrats. So many meetings. I mean, every day, but especially today. Back from the new used bookstore. Yes, full of book info now. Perfect. Tennille, that's awesome. Is the audiobook for Mickey 7 well done? Oh yeah, good question. My husband has been considering it. It is. So it is one voice narrator, and it's only coming from the perspective of Mickey 7, but the one I have is semi-graphic in the sense that you hear their like implant comms back and forth. There's like sounds, and then you can hear it's a little bit muffled as if you're hearing someone via a walkie-talkie. And there is a woman's voice. So there's one other voice narrator who takes on the women's voices, but only in the walkie-talkie. interestingly enough. So like when Mickey is interacting with women in, regular in-person things, he, the voice narrator takes on those women's voices, but on the comms, we have a woman's voice as an actress. Does that make sense? So that's the only thing that I think is a little bit odd, but I do think it's well done. And I've listened to this voice narrator before because, have you ever done that where if you're an audiobook listener, you're like, I recognize this voice, and you have to do a deep dive. And I realized that he was the voice narrator for a middle grade audiobook I listened to. And I was like, that is crazy and it was years ago. It was a couple years ago that I listened to that audiobook, but I knew it. I knew his voice. Hello, Teresa. Trying to finish Leva at last today. Ooh, I've never heard of that. I hope you're enjoying it. Read a couple of pages of Fourth Wing. Sounds good, Jenny. Slowly working your way through that chonky romantasy. Reading Death of a Ghost in the rest of my life. Oh, yes. Sounds good. I started yesterday, and wow, I love the over-the-top 30s movie style. Yeah, it's very dramatic. I'm also reading this, for those who don't know. It's for our Only Christie in the Book Club. We are randomly reading a Marjorie Allingham, but I really enjoy the art drama. I feel as though it's got a certain atmosphere to it that I'm really vibing with too. And it's a reread for you, Jen. I also just received volume 5 of Cat from Our World to Neil. Yes. Look at it. So cute. I still have to read volumes 3, 4, and 5. My plan is to almost treat it like a bind up. And then I'm going to read it for our fantasy for one of my bingo squares, I've decided. Got through a couple of chapters. Ooh, this book will bury me. I just saw Sam had finished this book, Sam's Reading Corner. She mentioned it in the Discord. You may have access, Kelsey, depending on where she mentioned it. And if anything, you could chat with her about it because she had some interesting thoughts. Not loving it, but I'm enjoying it enough to continue the series. Okay, okay, that sounds, it's always one of those things where you're like, I'll give this another shot. I'll read one more book in the series. So yeah, it's interesting. A little bit of an artistic choice. I'm not sure who made that decision or who makes those decisions in general, but yeah, it is. I do like it, and it's subtle. I'm not someone who reads graphic, and when I say graphic, I don't know what the term is. The very immersive audiobooks with the music and the sound effects. I don't do that very often, but I like little touches of it. I think we get that in Bury Your Gaze, has a little bit of that where it kind of plays with the mixed media in the book. So yeah, I think it's cool. Hello, Tara. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. Maybe you've been lurking. Totally fine. Popping in to hit the like, then popping out. No worries. I don't know if you're still here. I really need to find out more about audiobook narrators. I love them, but I couldn't even tell you their names. I typically don't know their names. I know their voices. And then it's almost like a picture where I recognize their name when it's written down. There's a voice narrator. I wasn't a fan of this book, but when the Moon Hatched, she is an audiobook narrator that I've listened to 3 or 4 times. And I was like, I have a relationship with this person. She doesn't know it, but we're friends now because I know her voice so well, and I can't remember her name. I also do that with audiobook narrators, as well as choosing books to read only because I've never done that before. I haven't gone that far, but I've definitely heard people do that before. It took me a long time to decide to read it too. Also, I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to say no. Oh, Angie. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I initially called you Angie. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, it might be Ann G. And I'm calling you by your first and middle name or something like that, or your first and last name. That I'm glad you said something because I thought I was creating the problem initially. Angie. Okay. Because I always want to call you Angie. And then I hold back. So thank you so much. I sometimes choose to pick up an audiobook because I know I love the narrator. I need to get into that. I think I need to start doing that actually. Yes, Anna, dramatized audiobooks. I keep calling it graphic, and I feel like that's suggesting I'm talking about content warnings or gore. And I'm like, that's not that's not what I mean. So dramatized. I have to remember that's what it's called. Leave It at Last is is it middle grade? MGM book club book. I'm trying to remember what that MGM. I might be missing that acronym. Finished it last night, Kelsey. You guys should talk about it. Chat, see what you think. Graphic audio is a company name. That's probably also where my brain is going. Sam's and B&K Book Club. Oh, perfect. So then I think that's why she's reading it, to be honest. So, okay, good to know. And then one more comment from Mia. calming music letting us know it's time to get back to productivity. I recently started taking down names of narrators just so that I can go back and see not only that I liked, an audiobook, but who's it's by. That is smart because it's probably I turn my into a detective. I'm like, who is this from? And I start to do research and I'm like, it would just be easier. Middle grade March. Okay, that makes sense. Hosted by Krista, Books and Jams. We adore her here. You better adore her as well. Everyone who's watching, you should go check her out. She's amazing. But okay, sounds good. On that note, we're going to go into another sprint. I'll read through these other two comments and see if I have anything to add, but I don't want to derail anyone's productivity today. So let's make myself tiny, and then I will see everybody in an hour. Hello, everybody. Welcome back from that hour-long sprint. During that time, we ended up getting a very special TBR video from Brie herself for the amazing readathon. Obviously, that disrupted my reading, but we'll forgive her because it was very entertaining and, had all the clues, had all the suggestions of what may happen. I don't know, things to come. But yeah, if you guys watched it, I hope that you also enjoyed it. Brie is in the middle of chapter 11 for The Wind Weaver. Also, Denise made another 34 pages of progress. I ended up getting a little bit further. I'm 90% into Mickey 7, meaning that I have less than an hour left of listening, which is honestly perfect because I was like, I'm going to finish this today. I absolutely need to. And so I'm glad that I'm going to easily finish it. So yeah, it was fun. I know. It's such a good game too. It's a TBR game for those who like those videos. Even if you aren't participating in the amazing readathon, made it to 35% into the rivals. Loving this. It's building on the plot points from the previous book. Oh, you know what? Yeah, and that's also queer. For those who are interested, it's like a bit of a queer mystery thriller, if memory serves. Didn't quite manage to finish my work. Oh no. Yeah, you'll do it in one more sprint. That's perfect. Hello, Alicia. Welcome to the party. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lexi, you got to watch it. Worked on the to-do list. Need to find time to read. Oh, listen, I know. Isn't it terrible that there are days where I actually have to schedule in reading? I'm like, okay, add it to the to-do list so that I see it as a task that I have to do. Because if not, I won't have time to read. You're reading, Aeronauts Windless with Michael, who's also in the comments. Made it another 7% of discount Armageddon. Kelly, I really, really want to read this. This is by Seanan McGuire, and I've wanted to read something by that author under that name because I've only ever read under the pen name Myra Grant. And that's basically just been like their horror stuff. So I need to try something else. And it looks really fun. Started Silver and Gold, got to page 44, also trying to catch up on some booktube. I was really good. And now it's been about literally only a day since I've watched booktube, and I feel like I'm probably behind again. Hit the halfway mark on my Bridgerton audiobook. Awesome. Hello, Erin. Read 32 pages of Shield of Sparrows. Truly, everyone is reading this. My dogs also distracted me for a bit of demanding attention. You know what? They demand it, but they also deserve it. So it makes sense. Read 20 more pages, got myself ready for bed. Yes, Pina, because I know that you're in Finland, right? And so it's far later for you. And I hope you have a good night's sleep, but don't feel the need to stay up too late with us. It was really nice to have you stop by. Even though I started earlier than I usually do, which is kind of funny. Got more reading done in my Star Wars book, some cleaning done. Also, so good with checking things off my to-do list. Yes, I have a to-do list, and because I'm chipping away at everything, I haven't been able to check anything off, but I think next sprint, I'll be able to check a couple things off, which is great. Another 30 pages in Camp Damascus, definitely intense. I am not surprised. Finish the kids' bedtime routine, gather all books that need to go back to the library tomorrow. Very smart. I actually have a whole stack of library books as well, but here in the US, we had a holiday on Monday, yesterday, and I typically work at the library then. And since I didn't work because we had the day off, I'm probably going to have to make a little bit of a run just to drop stuff off so none of my stuff is late. This sprint and the previous one managed to read 20 pages. Finished The Ghost Tree by M.R.C. Kasassian and think this will be my last of the Betty Church mystery. Oh no, they're just too long and many of the characters make me want to plug my ears and eyes. Isn't that so frustrating when a series just unfortunately loses its luster for you? Did some planning with my mom, made some food. Yum, very productive. Of course, yeah, that's definitely productive, especially when you're making plans, because that in itself is a task sometimes. And then eating, you got to add that to the to-do list because sometimes you'll forget. Just watched Mickey 17 last night, read both books earlier this year. That's right. I didn't even realize that there was a series until I was looking it up on a review site and saw that it was like Mickey 7 #1. And I was like, wait a second. And so now I know that there's a sequel. And I don't know if I'm going to watch the movie. I probably should, especially since I'm reading the book. But I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if I want to, even though this is a 4-star read at the moment. Like, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun, light, palate cleanser. A lot of humor, and I'm enjoying the kind of sci-fi setting where they're discussing like the sentience of another kind of creature on the planet with them. So that's all been really fun. But I don't know. I'm not a big movie person though, so maybe that's why. And I haven't been to the movie theater in forever. So that's something that is like so funny to think about. Did lots of work emailing, internal grousing about, oh gosh, about colleagues who keep proposing obviously improbable solutions. Yeah. And then you're like, I shouldn't have to explain this, but it's not going to work. What holiday did you have? Oh, we had Memorial Day. For those who don't know, you probably have depending on your country, you probably have a similar holiday. But for us, it's for those who have fallen. So basically in memoriam, like soldiers, kind of the companion holiday to Veterans Day, which is for veterans. Usually there are parades, other events. Maybe they'll be doing things at the like Rotary, those types of stuff. But I didn't do anything beyond just like take the day and not work. But a lot of like public sphere for government stuff, those are usually closed. Like we don't have no post on Monday, that kind of thing. It's a long weekend here this weekend with Ascension Day on Thursday, and a lot of people have the Friday off. You know, I was just talking to Polis, who is from Germany, saying that they have Ascension Day / Father's Day in that way. So, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, we have Remembrance Day, early May for World War II. Yeah, so that's pretty much our Memorial Day. So, yeah. Got to 60% in the story of a new name. Still meal prepping. But your future self will thank you for all of these meals that are now prepped. It's just having to juggle that. But you're very you're more than halfway into that. It is the sequel. I'm pretty sure it's the sequel to the Neapolitan series. Oh yeah, we had Spring Bank Holiday yesterday in the UK. Yes, yes, yes. So I don't know if you know this, Abs, and I don't know how many people know this, but my employer is from the UK and based in the UK. And so yeah, she was saying how it's the like second bank holiday in May, that you all have two bank holidays in May. And she's like, they do not spread it out in any type of like understandable form. So I was like, oh well, perfect. I've got Memorial Day. So I took the day off anyway. So yeah, interesting. Our Remembrance Day for World War I and World War II are November 11th. Yeah, and I'm wondering if I should look more into it, especially for my own country's holiday, as to why the day is chosen. I'm sure there is significance as to your days. Yeah, it is interesting to kind of consider, because it is very like country based. It's not like an international holidays, even though we're all, kind of in memory of a similar situation surrounding the same wars. But yeah. I also found out that so in Canada, speaking of Tennille, who's here, last Monday you guys had Victoria Day, which also isn't celebrated everywhere for obvious reasons. But yeah, November 11th is Veterans Day in the US. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can kind of see how it's spread out as well, where it's almost, yeah, it's like 6 months if you think about it. So we have Memorial Day, and then 6 months ish later, we have Veterans Day. So it is kind of like every 6 months we have a holiday around that vein. We have so many in April, May. Yeah, you do the bank holidays. I think our date is based on World War I treaty dates. Liberation Day is 5th of May for us. So Remembrance Day is the day before. Honors those who gave their lives. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of difference, is that it's for lost soldiers, fallen soldiers. Yeah. Which matches the World War I Armistice Day. Honors. Oh yeah, and that's for Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. 11/11 was the end of World War I. Yeah. Says the person who was in the military. Jen, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you were in the military. We had a Fallen Soldiers Memorial Day, sort of, May 18th in Finland. Yeah. Veterans Day, November 11th, because that's the day World War II ended. Not sure why Memorial Day is in May. Yeah, I'm sure that there is some type of history to it. I should look into it, to be honest. I feel like it's something where it almost becomes more of a cultural thing where you just know that it's happening, but we don't all take the time. I should say I don't take the time to look into why. But on that note, we're going to go into another sprint. I'll see you guys in another hour. everyone. Welcome back from that sprint. I did officially finish my book, which is great. So, Mickey 7, solid 4 stars. And I'm very intrigued to possibly read book 2 eventually. Probably not anytime soon. But yeah, hopefully I can pick it up soon. I'm glad that we ended up getting some interesting facts regarding Memorial Day, its history. So yeah, originally to honor Union soldiers in American during the Civil War. Obviously, that has expanded though, because we celebrate all fallen soldiers on that day. But yeah, that was really interesting. Also, Beth just joined. Hello, Beth. You are reading Wings of Starlight. Ooh, I think that's made the New York Times bestsellers list once or twice as well. Sarah powered through to page 120 of Shield of Sparrows. Definitely understand the hype. And comparing it to Witcher, which is like a favorite of yours. Interesting. And yes, I finished my book. Very exciting. And now I can return it to the library, check it off my list. But that now means I am left with all physical reads because I have a Battle of the Booktuber book that is physical. I have another secret book that's physical, Death of a Ghost, physical. And I'm like, okay, something. But actually, Death of a Ghost, I now will probably read that immersively thanks to Tennille for giving us that audiobook, which is really great. Read 44 pages, page 302. Denise, you've read quite a bit today. Got to page 84, having a great time. Hello, my beautiful lore keeper, my beautiful tree. I'm doing well. You know what, Katie? We should come up with what trees we think we are. That would actually be really fun on the lore keeper team to like ask everybody what tree they think they are. What kind of forest are we? You know, like how many different species of tree do we have? Maybe I'm the only one who think that would be fun. I could understand other people being like, oh, Leandra, you know, flora nut, but I do love a good tree. So I'm doing well though. I hope you're doing well as well. I hate saying well as well because it sounds like I'm repeating myself. Got some art exercises done, found a lecture on, composition on YouTube to watch. Sometimes you just need to go back to basics when learning, 100%. Congrats on finishing. Thanks, Erin. You were able to read 44 pages of Shield of Sparrows. Are you agreeing with Sarah's assessment? I know that you're not as far. I don't think you're as far, but yeah, what are you thinking about it? Does it give you Witcher vibes as well? Got called away to pick up my new spare tire. Oh my gosh, that had to be on order. So that took a while, but I did manage another 5%. And it probably feels good to have that spare tire. I don't know if you have it now stored like in your vehicle or somewhere, but that's always kind of good to have. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were reading Overgrowth. What are you thinking? You got to 85%. This is a book. I have the arc, and obviously I didn't get to it in time, but I really want to read it. It's one of my, at this point, most anticipated books of this year, I think, one of them. 47% into the rivals. Watched Bree's video. Yeah, so speaking of Bree's video, speaking of the lovely Katie, I would rather be reading. Don't forget, friends, this is my final reminder. The amazing readathon just around the corner. We're having a good time over there, as you can see. And then now where am I? Picked up the kiddos from school, working on the book journal. Sounds great, Alicia. Oh my gosh, 89% of Direct Descendant. And you know I'm going to be reading this in June. Just over an hour left. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, and it's not that big of a book, if I remember correctly. Now I'm off to Google. I know we need to find a tree quiz. Like we need to see, so then I don't have the pressure of deciding what tree I am. I'm trying to think, what tree would I think I am? I do love a variety of pine. Like I think I probably go that route potentially, but we'll see. That would be so fun. A good excuse to randomly research, right? It's just like a really fun thing to be like, what are we? And then of course there'll be people who just say, I am obviously a maple or I'm obviously a willow. You know, they'll have their specific choice. Oh, a palm tree, I suppose. Those who we can kind of go by climate. That's why I'm leaning towards pine. You know, those a bit more durable in the fall, winter months. Because those are kind of those are my favorite months. Now, of course, now all I'm thinking about are trees. When shopping with my mother-in-law, got some goodies for the hubby, jumping back into diary. Sounds good. Oh, and Tracy, I saw that you were liking that. Like I saw you made a comment while we were in a sprint and that you were enjoying it. I'm glad that shopping went well. Sounds like it wasn't too stressful either. I've been using the new app. The new app Tuesday recommended to plan out a productive day. Oh, that's awesome. Meanwhile, I'm like in the Stone Age with my paper and pen. I literally write a to-do list every single day and just kind of check it off. Manage 35 pages of The Lavender Witch. It might be a DNF. Oh no. Oh gosh, I'm totally a witch elm, by the way. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I support it. That's a really good one. Angie says, I was able to finish meal prepping. Congrats. Oh my gosh, what a process. Got to 70% my audiobook, and now I'm cleaning up, hoping to jump back into Slewfoot, by Brahm, once I finish. That one I've seen a lot of people enjoy. Obviously, the illustrations add a new texture, like a different texture to the narrative as well. I've heard content warnings are a must, though, depending on the type of reader you are, especially like that kind of horror. So yeah, good to know, though, that you are, jumping back in. Hopefully you're enjoying it, especially because you want to finish. Our office location used types to name conference rooms. The Sienna Glen room is the best room, in my opinion. I love that. That's so fun. I've been doing more life management during this sprint. I have a lot to plan, keep track of lately. So I set up my journal differently for next month to help keep better track. Honestly, that's a great idea, especially because, yes, we usually set up our journals, whether it's like at the start of the year or whenever we first get a new journal. And I feel as though we don't think about the fact that we can change at any time to accommodate what is to come or how our life has changed. So yeah, that sounds good. I have a deep love of weeping willows, but that feels like it's telling me something. I know you're like, what does that say about me that I'm gravitating towards that? They really are gorgeous. I grew up with a weeping willow, not in my yard. We had a pine, we had a spruce, but then my next door neighbor, they had a weeping willow. And I will say it was a lot during storms for like the cleanup and all this kind of thing. But I loved it. I really enjoyed it, especially when it would touch the ground and you would kind of like almost truly have to, it would be a little oasis in there. Love this app because you get a little bird friend to nurture called Finch. That is so cute. Did some chores and sadly put away a puzzle. Thought I'd have time to do it. Oh my gosh, I've been there. I've done that where I've been like, oh, let me set it up. And I also have like a puzzle table and everything. And it takes up a good amount of room. And my apartment isn't that large. So there have been times where I've had to sadly put it back in the box. Oh gosh, sad days. I suspect I'm a weeping willow. Ooh. I'd like to be some sort of, deciduous tree with wide branches, like an umbrella. I love that. And I'm so glad you used the word deciduous. It's one of my favorite words. Simply, I really like saying it. Ooh, know how to hang. They really do, Via. They really do. Feeling like a 4-star. I know some people find it too slow, not horrific enough, but I mainly read litfic literary horror, so I'm unbothered. I loved Into the Drowning Deep, which is a very chonky and kind of slow burn horror, so that doesn't turn me off at all, actually. I would love a weeping willow. Have always dreamed of having one to read under. Yeah, it was really lovely. And I will say you have what's fun is that you see like all of the various bugs that kind of hang out. So you've got to be careful depending on how hanging it is, at least in my area where we had one. So strange to hear you had a tree in your yard. I grew up in a rural area, so there were many trees. Oh yeah, so almost in my opinion, I lived in quite a rural country. I lived across from a horse farm, but that also didn't mean it was very forestry. So we had the horse farm across from me, and then we kind of had the backyard with trees, but we had almost like a statement piece tree, we'll call it. Like how you have like a statement nail. We had a statement tree, and in our front yard, it was a pine. It's still there. But then my closest next door neighbor, they had a big willow tree, and they would let me like obviously play on their land and like do stuff. So like basically we had trees all around us in our backyards, but like our front was clear with one tree, if that makes sense. Including fruit trees. Oh yeah, we had crabapple. So we had crabapple trees. Like in my backyard, we had a few crabapple trees where deer would come by and nibble and eat, because obviously we weren't going to be eating them. My main complaint is the protagonist reads so young. Oh, okay. It makes sense. It feels YA. That's right, because she's kind of a not childlike, but the idea is that her parents as aliens are kind of coming back for her growing up. Okay, interesting. So, oh, the WWF. Of course they'd have a tree quiz. Are we surprised? Uh, Forest on 3 sides of the field. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That sounds lovely, to be honest. I wasn't in that rural of an area, but it wasn't a suburb, if that makes sense, because we had farm animals. They would get out all the time. When I was growing up, apparently we'd have pigs in our yard. Sometimes the horses would get out. There was a neighborhood cow that would like make its rounds. So yeah. Oh, yeah, loved it. 5 stars for sure. If anyone else has Finch, wants to add me. Ooh, yeah, you guys can like support each other. We had juniper, lilac, rose bushes. Oh gosh, right in front of the house. I see what you mean now. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a bit strange because I would argue that we weren't suburban, but I did have neighbors, which not everyone can say. We had a pine in our front yard, but when we came home one day, it was gone. Oh my gosh, it was cut down without you? I feel like that's a crime. Did someone come and steal your tree? Okay, rural Arizona, grew up with horses, pigs, goats, chickens. Yeah, that's really lovely. Which again, isn't for everybody. Not everyone experiences that. And urban life, suburban life all have their own perks and their setbacks. So yeah, very nice. Our neighbors were not within eyesight of the house. Interesting. Yeah, ours definitely were all around. Well, on that note, friends, that was actually our last sprint. I started an hour early so I could kind of close sprints an hour early as well, just to give myself an hour before we have manor guests and apartment 20 people coming for T-Rex Tuesdays. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Ooh, grew up 15 acres in Colorado. One of our neighbors had an emu farm. Oh my gosh. The HOA, yeah, that's one of the we know why they exist, but we also understand the complaints. And oh, a disease. Had a few trees, but still remember a hazelnut tree. Oh, I do love those too. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. It was really, really great to have company. We talked about all of the random things, and we are closing on the discussion of trees and yards. I couldn't have asked for a better conversation ender. But yeah, I will see you all another time. I want to let you know, those who are typically here on Tuesdays, June's going to look very different because I am doing the Amazing Readathon. I'm one of the co-hosts, and we're not sure, like, as far as like sprinting week by week, how things are going. So for now, we won't be doing weekly Tuesdays. In fact, the following Friday, so not this Friday, but the next Friday, I'll be sprinting then. So it's going to be a little bit chaotic, just so you all know. So I don't want anyone to be surprised if they don't see me next Tuesday, because that's probably because I'm doing the following one, if that makes sense. But yeah, thank you all so much. This is probably going to be transferring you over to Kelsey, who does start in about an hour. But obviously you can find your own path, find your own sprints wherever they take you, and I'll see you around the internet very soon. Okay, bye everybody.